Sometimes two really hot parents will make a ugly child who doesn't know how to work. The Steyr Scout is the love child of Colonel Jeff Cooper and Steyr. In every way, it is one of the weirdest rifles made for a situation which probably will never exist. But nonetheless, it does exist, and it is here, which means it is what, Micah?
Cool. It's really cool.
Fair game. It means it's fair game. So today on Grand Thumb, we're going to be talking about the Steyr Scout, the most bizarre sniper rifle just ever made. But before we get into that, we have to thank the biggest sponsor of the channel. The biggest sponsor of the channel is the Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're looking to get your start in gunsmithing, they are the people to go to. They love us.
We kiss.
And of course, who can we not forget, Micah?
Primary arms.
Yep, Skittles patches are being shipped as we speak. So if you buy products, you might get one if you're nice. So email them and ask them for, I don't know, maybe 1,000 Skittle patches. I think they like that kind of thing. And of course, we cannot forget to thank Manchester if you're looking to get into dry fire. It rocks. It turns your gun into a dry fire machine. We love it. We use the hell out of it. Dry fire is how you become a good shooter. So go and check them out. And of course, AAC Ammo. They provide ammo for us. A big thank you to them. We are using their 308 today, so thank you, AAC Ammo. The Steyr Scout is a extremely lightweight rifle chambered in 308. Now, there are other chamberings of the Steyr Scout, but the 308 is kind of the main thing it was made for. Colonel Jeff Cooper had in mind from his hunting in Africa that he wanted a extremely lightweight rifle with some type of long eye relief scope with iron sights, something that was quick, that was handy, that held extra ammunition, that could be brought up to bear and could take down most large game. And
that is so specific, it hurts.
it really, that would have been a really pertinent idea in like 1880. But in 1989, about the time Steyr picked this up, and then this was released about early 90s, mid 90s, this was a concept that really was not needed, was not necessary, and that was completely outclassed at the time it came out. But we do have the Steyr Scout now, and it might just look like a bolt action, but there is so much more to this rifle that I don't even know where to start. But we're going to start with shooting it because that is way more interesting. And if you know anything about the Steyr Scout, you know that it is in what game, Micah?
Counter-Strike, baby, the jump shot master.
Everybody knows the Steyr Scout from Counter-Strike. So we're going to be trying out a few Counter-Strike tropes as we shoot this gun, and also trying out the practicality of the rifle as a whole, which I don't think it's very practical at all. Now, the Steyr Scout wasn't exactly an anti-human rifle. That being said, you never know what you're going to run into. So we have one human target, very dangerous. We're going to put 3 rounds of 308 into him via the shot timer. This will be from low ready, Micah. And we'll see who is the best Steyr Scout master.
I don't know, man. I played a lot of Counter-Strike.
I know you have, buddy. 350. No, it's very clean. I feel good.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Am I on the right target?
Yeah, no, left.
Same
yeah,
target?
Yeah, you. I love doing this to Micah because he shot it like twice.
You haven't really talked about what this looks like to look through.
Oh, yeah. Wait, am I on super safety, safety, or?
Yeah, turn super safety off.
There literally is 3 safeties.
I know.
All right. Yeah.
Stand by. .389. Yeah. Very clean.
I feel pretty good. The action was actually very smooth. I got a little hung up. It was me, but felt good.
All right, Mike. So my drill is going to be a little special. In Counter-Strike, the Scout used to have a very weird quirk where it was one of the only guns where when you jumped, it was accurate. So you could jump around barricades, headshot somebody, and then, you know, land back down. So for the next drill, we're going to do a classic Counter-Strike jump shot with the Scout.
Okay, am I like, are we jumping like from behind cover and doing it?
Yeah, so you gotta clear the barricade.
Oh my god.
And shoot the steel target.
Ready.
Let's say you get 3 tries to make the hit.
Okay, ready.
All right, action.
Oh!
See? It's really good at it!
I'm just the main character, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Here you go. You're up, buddy.
Oh, just high. thousands of hours of Counter-Strike, and I couldn't do it.
Now, if you don't know, the Steyr Scout has a surprise mag right here at the back, so you can actually perform a reload on the move in case a rhino's charging you and you gotta change out a mag in Africa. But we're gonna use that to our advantage. We're gonna be doing a 1-round-1 with the Steyr Scout. That's gonna be on steel. So this is a long eye relief scope. You can use them on pistols, or in this case, a Steyr Scout. And basically, you can see really far away from the optic. However, the field of view is freaking tiny on these things. It is, the light transmission is low. It's not fun. It's not a good time at all.
You know, that was shockingly smooth.
626. I think I can do it faster, but you're up, buddy.
Oh, I really buggered that one up, as they say in Austria. Wow, crikey.
We're gonna do it one more time because we both really sucked at that, so here we go. Oh!
Oh!
Look at that focus. Clean, 542.
Let's go!
On that one, dude. Well, I would say it's about time for some long range, wouldn't you, Micah?
I think so.
With my plastic bipods. So 308 should be a 900-meter rifle with an 18-inch barrel. However, there are serious limitations with a 4-power optic. That being said, we are at 570. Should be doable, right, Micah? Should be doable. Oh, God. Doable. Not easy with that optic, dude. Typically with the Steyr Scout, the idea is like 300 to 400. It can obviously do much further. With the setup as it is envisioned in the 90s, there are severe limitations on the rifle. Just everything about this thing is bizarre. All right, let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, this video is sponsored by Rocky Boots, and if you didn't know, Rocky Boots has been making boots for the military since World War II. In fact, they made it for many forces, including the U.S. Allied forces. They made it for the Army, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, pretty much everyone that matters. That's counting out the Navy. Just kidding, they make it for the Navy too. Just gotta give the Navy a hard time. Today, Rocky is still proudly building boots designed to protect men and women, elite forces, people serve the country, law enforcement, and of course, concerned citizens like you guys. So get out there, check them out. Now, the boot we're wearing today is the S2V. When I was going through basic, we were issued like these really shitty boots, and like all the cool guys had on the Rocky S2Vs. We were like, oh my God, they got the Rocky. This is real, by the way. I'm not paid to say this. We're like, they have the Rockies. So we got the selection. The first thing we did was we bought these Rocky boots, of course. But of course, back in the day, it was that dumb, stupid gray-green color for the Air Force Tiger Stripes. But in any case, I've put hundreds of miles on Rocky boots for selection, rucking, running, doing all that training and everything, and they are awesome. So personally, I do vouch for them. I love these boots so much. And if you're looking to get them, they're pretty awesome. The best part about the Rocky boots is that they are compliant with the military's regulations with the OCP, which is nice. So go and check them out, guys. We're a big fan of Rocky boots, and they rock. So with all that being said, back to the Steyr Scout and Jeff Cooper. I think the thing to remember about the Steyr Scout is that it was a concept that was developed by Jeff Cooper. There's a lot of rifle concepts that are developed. People are like, hey, I think this is a good idea. It's not a good idea. However, an entire rifle isn't designed around that concept. Unfortunately for the Scout rifle concept, a rifle was developed around that concept, and we have the Steyr Scout. This is a very lightweight rifle. Everything about it was done to lessen weight and to fit the criteria set forth by Colonel Jeff Cooper. And it just does not really work. This is a lot of very odd things that just, by the time it came out, it was outclassed. Now, the best way to go through a rifle like this is going to be tip to butt. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start at the very tip of the rifle here. Starting at the tip, we do have a JK can. And here's one of my first kind of gripes with the Steyr Scout. It has the weirdest thread pitch of any thread pitch I've ever seen. It's not a standard 3-weight thread pitch. Because of that, I asked all these companies to make me an adapter. JK was the only one nice enough to make it for me. Everyone else has told me to fuck off, which is probably the correct thing to do. And we've been using the JK can on here. You see the 30 cal can because it is a 308 in this particular case. In Europe, they don't have military calibers, so they have different calibers in Europe. A suppressor and a bolt action rifle is going to work great. So the sound signature is actually very pleasant when it comes to the Steyr Scout. Now, as you typically and classically see them in media and in use, it was without a suppressor. Now, without the suppressor, the rifle is actually incredibly lightweight. So we're going to go ahead and get the suppressor off. You know, without the suppressor on, it actually is an incredibly handy rifle, but still outclassed. Moving from the muzzle device, we do have the barrel. And if you notice on the barrel right here, if you want to come in close, take a look at that. Everything was done to reduce the weight as much as possible. You notice that the profile of the barrel also is quite thin as well. So these are, of course, good for a handy rifle to be able to take quick shots. However, when you're getting into a rifle built for accuracy long term, as far as the barrel heating up, you're going to have shot dispersion faster due to the fact that the barrel is going to heat up quicker than, you know, like a barrel you'd have on like an M24, which is also a 308 rifle, but was considered like an actual sniper rifle. Now, moving back from there, we do have the stock right here. Now, it's important to note that the stock, I don't know what it is about Steyr. Their plastic always looks super cheap, but it is actually very durable. There's no problems with it. It doesn't look right. But it is incredibly lightweight. Again, it was something that they did in order to lessen the weight. You do have these little grips right here that also act as your surprise bipods. So if you see this little button right here, when you press this button, it releases the bipod. And you put these out, they click into place with a little detent, and you have the flimsiest bipod known to mankind. Now, the reason they did that is a bipod's going to add a lot of weight, and they wanted to keep this rifle under 6 pounds. So what they decided to do was make these plastic bipods right here, and it is good in a pinch, but if you're doing any type of actual sniper DMR work, it is not good at all. But I guess to take a shot at a rhino. Now, the worst part about this is when you pull back on it, it sounds wrong. It sounds like you're breaking it. Ready?
Oh,
that doesn't sound right, but that is correct. That's the way you break it down. It just clicks past that detent. Does it sound like you're breaking it?
Yeah.
I thought I broke it the first time. It was in front of Steve at Stockpile. He was not happy. So you have a really weird bipods. They do work. And if you come in right here, we do have a front sight right here. So the idea was, you know, not specifically to use an optic, although an optic was optimal. So sights were also built in to be integrated into the Steyr Scout. We have the rear sight right here, which is elevation adjustable, and then we have the front sight. The rear sight is not quick deploy. You need to use like a bullet tip. Front sight is, however, the optic that the rifle is designed for does block that front sight. Not that you need it with the optic, just kind of a little note on it. The sights are pretty rudimentary, something I'm not going to recommend. They did want ghost ring sights, as they're better for kind of keeping your peripheral vision when you're hunting in the tall grasses of Africa or something along those lines. I just can't think of a specific scenario where I'm going to take this gun. So right here we have the Picatinny. You can see this is where we have our long eye relief optic attached. But if you do notice, we do have slots of Picatinny right here. That way we can mount a scope in a traditional position, which would be way better than what we have right here. However, this is the iconic Steyr Scout, which we wanted to do a review on. Now, a couple notes here. One of the reasons they originally wanted the optic forward in the original Scout rifle concept was that you could change ammunition quickly. The idea is that you could use like a stripper clip. However, there is no stripper clip guide on the Steyr Scout. So to me, it didn't really make any sense to then sacrifice the great light transmission of a normal optic for a long eye relief optic. It doesn't make any sense at all. So right here we do have the Leupold long eye relief optic. It's a 1.5 to 4, and it is the tiniest eye box known to mankind. It is not fun. I would take a traditional scope any day. I really don't see any person who would mount this when the option is there to mount a traditional optic. There's no reason for it in my mind. Moving back from the optic right there, we have a couple really odd little things, more odd things about the Steyr Scout. So right here we have the slings. So this is where the sling can be mounted. We have many points. We have the sling mount right here, a sling mount right here, a sling mount right here, and a sling mount right here, and a sling mount right there. So if you're worried about where you can mount your sling, just wherever you want. It's just odd positioning for the slings. They did have a specific sling for the Steyr Scout. I was never a fan of it. Now the mounts themselves are pretty cool. We'll show this in B-roll, but you can push them in and then twist them. They actually lock into place. So it is pretty handy. It's just odd. And of course nowadays with more standardized mounting locations and mounting ways, it is a little bit antiquated, but yet the rifle is still made the way it's made. Moving back from there, we do have the action itself. So much like an AR-15, the bolt actually locks into the barrel itself, which is steel, and the receiver is aluminum. So this is another way that they were able to get the weight of the Steyr Scout down. So it is a very lightweight rifle. The bolt, when it comes to it, is actually very smooth. So you can see right here how good it feels. It is nice. I do like it quite a bit. I really don't have any complaints when it comes to the bolt. The oddest thing I think about the Steyr Scout is going to be the safety. So we have 3 safeties. We have our normal safety. So normal safety, trigger doesn't work. You can work the bolt, you can load rounds in. Then you have your ultra safety, which locks it into place. An ultra safety bolt's not gonna move. So say if you're traveling or something like that and you don't want the weapon to actually accidentally unlock, or you're traveling through the bush or something like that, it is a very specific purpose when it comes to that ultra safety. It always cracks me up though. So from there you can unlock it to the normal safety and then to fire. And then on fire, of course, you can do all your normal stuff. Just roast one to the hillside right there. Moving from the safety, we do have the magazine. So the magazine is a 5-round magazine and you have 2 of them. So you have your surprise magazine back here, which can hold another 5. And the idea was that you had ammo on you that was stored on the weapon to just make this a very lightweight, very versatile rifle. Moving from that, we do have the trigger. Trigger is very nice. I would say this thing sits at around 3, maybe 3 pounds. Let's go ahead and let's try it out together. So put your finger right over mine.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Bolt gun.
Do that again.
Bolt gun triggers are wonderful.
It's not moving.
No take up. Beautiful. Great trigger. Excellent trigger on the Steyr Scout. You really have to give it to him there. Moving back, it is a traditional stock. It feels pretty good in the hand. The cheek rest is good. You can see you have a lot of removable sections to get the correct length of pull on this rifle. And you have the Steyr Scout. And we have the Steyr Scout, a really cool looking rifle, but a rifle that was designed with a purpose that perhaps is not widely necessary. It's a very niche rifle, kind of fits into a narrow, plane of existence. Like even here on my ranch, we can, pan around right here. We got a shit ton of land, but I just carry an AR-15 because lightweight, 30 rounds, coyotes, I want to make quick follow-up shots. I just don't need it. So I guess if you're traveling to Africa and you need a really quick, handy rifle for kind of generalized hunting.
Still don't use the Steyr
Scout. Still don't use the Steyr Scout. I guess really the only place that the Steyr Scout kind of sits is if you are on the counter-terrorist team and you need to save a little bit of money, you don't have enough money for the op, and you really want to kind of be shooting on the move and stuff, I think it's a really good gun for that. But here's the thing. If you have this and you're training with it, I'm going to be pretty terrified of you because this is a great, accurate weapon and it will certainly do the job. So get out there, get training. We appreciate you guys, as always. Tons of good things coming. And with that, we have nothing else for you. Final thing for you guys. Get off the internet.